Let's get it on. Today is leg day, and normally I don't get excited about leg days. You guys already know I have a love-hate relationship with leg day. However, in this particular case, today's leg day is after a refeed, which is honestly the best time to target and hit legs. I'm carved up. I'm very much fueled from yesterday. My pre-workout snack was very minimal as well. I just had some fruit snacks. If you're very, very heavily carved up the night before a lift and you wake up early enough, you typically don't need to eat too much because your glycogen's still filled up and you're pretty much still feeling full and energized from the night before. So, with that being said, we are going to hit some legs, some heavy ass squats today. I'm feeling pretty strong. That refeed was exactly what I needed. My maintenance calories are roughly in the 3,000s. It's around, I think it's 31 to 3,200 calories, roughly, maybe 3,150 is roughly around my maintenance. And that's mainly due to the fact that I have a high metabolic rate and I do work out pretty intensely. So my refeed yesterday was like roughly 3,600 calories. You kind of want to go slightly above maintenance. The reason why I decided to go a little bit extra last night as well, I told myself, well, the deficit's going to increase again, pretty soon. So I figured, why not give myself that extra little boost of food for the lift for legs so I can go heavier, get a good pump, really push myself to failure, and just overall feel good in the gym. Because essentially that's what a refeed should do, is fill up your glycogen storage, really have you feeling fuller and just not overall depleted and tired. Because during a cut, as most of you know, you're going to feel tired, you're going to feel depleted, and just overall fatigued in general. But enough of that. Let's get going to the gym. No more fooling around, no dilly-dallying. It is currently 6:16 in the morning. It's a little later than usual, but we're going to get it done. I don't have to be at work as early today, so I figured let me just kind of go at the time I want to go at. So went a little bit later today. But let's get going. Let's get going to the gym. I normally don't like leg days. It's funny because when people see me train leg days and when they see the progression I've made over time with my legs, they automatically assume I enjoy it. And that's far from the truth. Leg days are not supposed to be fun, um, in my opinion, but they are a necessity in order to grow your overall physique. Did you guys hit legs this week? This is a weekly check-in. I'm making sure. Did you guys hit legs this week? I'm looking at everyone here watching this video. Don't skip on legs. If you're skipping legs, you're doing a huge disservice to yourself. Not just in a bodybuilding sense, but just overall. Don't be the person that just looks very unproportionate in terms of training their physique. And I see a lot of people now, when they train legs, they don't even train properly. I go to the gym and I see people hitting leg press and they throw on a bunch of plates and, they're doing quarter reps on the leg press or like barely any reps. You got to make sure your knees are almost touching your chest. And I say almost because if you fully touch your chest on a leg press, you could risk injury with improper form. Don't go all the way to your chest because it could potentially hurt you. You could injure your lower back if you're not careful. However, that does not take away from the fact that you still need to go deep when performing a leg press. Same thing with squatting as well. You need to go as low as you possibly can. The deeper the squat, the bigger the legs. Focus on the mobility. Don't ego lift, and you'll get there. You'll get some massive legs. That's the main issue I've noticed with people training legs is they don't want to do the full range of motion. They'll do some leg press, a couple sets of leg press, and maybe 2 or 3 sets of leg press, and then like 2 or 3 sets of seated hamstring curls, and then leg extensions, and they'll call it a day. Maybe calves if they're feeling up for it, but there's no intensity, and that intensity is what's going to get you to grow in terms of your lower body, which is so funny to me because the same people that I see performing legs in that manner are the same people that still train chest and biceps and back super super heavily. Those are the same people hitting back workouts or chest workouts and biceps with perfect form and good isolation with heavy weight, but yet when it comes to legs that same training disappears. And it's like, okay, where's that training that we saw earlier? You're not doing that for legs, but you're doing it for everything else. Don't get me wrong, I'm a little biased as well when it comes to certain body parts. Back and biceps are my favorite day of the week to train, but I don't let that stop me from performing at my most optimal level and really pushing that intensity on a leg day. Just because I hate legs doesn't mean I'm going to say, okay, well, I don't really like legs. So to be honest, I'm just going to kind of do some quarter reps. I'm going to take it easy today. I don't want to squat fully today because it's legs. You know, I don't even like training legs at the end of the day. I don't like training legs, so I should just take it easy. But that's not the mentality you need to have in terms of your training. You need to be able to snap out of it and say to yourself, no, I don't like leg day, but I know I have to get it done. Stop being so hesitant on putting in some fucking work. As mean and as rude as it can sound, sometimes it's just as simple as shut the fuck up and squat. Like, you know, when I hear people say, I want big legs, but I'm scared to squat, or I'm scared to do this, or I need to get a little padding for my neck when I squat because it's you know, blah 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 blah. Just respectfully, just shut the fuck up and squat. It is not that hard, and you're really doing your body a disservice by not squatting and prioritizing that when you're hitting legs. If you want big ass legs in the gym and you want to really progress in the gym, stop being afraid to get under the bar, load on some good adequate weight with proper form, and just squat as deep as you can for as many reps as you can. And then you get to go home afterwards. It's not that complicated. It's not rocket science, and it's not brain surgery. I know I sound repetitive at times. At this point, I might sound like a broken record in some of my videos, but it really is, you know, my mentality in terms of training. If you want big legs, if you want a good physique, you got to train with insane form and good. You got to, if you want a crazy, insane looking physique, you're going to have to train insane, and you're going to have to train crazy. Now, this doesn't mean load on as many plates as possible and try your best to pick the weight up when you know damn well you can't. Pick an adequate weight where you can struggle with around 6 to 12 reps and do it with good, proper form. Don't ego lift either. Don't be the person that relies on their ego to get them through a workout. Because at the end of the day, people might be staring at you. Yeah, they might, but they're staring at you for the wrong reasons, not the reasons that you might think. They might be staring at you like, look at this person. They don't even know what they're doing. Don't be an ego lifter either. You're not really benefiting your body in any way, shape, or form by doing so. But at the end of the day, I digress. Alrighty, we are at the gym. It looks semi-empty today, which is totally fine. To me, at the end of the day, what matters for me is if I can get a bench or a Smith, because we are squatting today and I don't want to have to wait too long for one. But if we have to, we have to. It is what it is, you know. We can't really control that, unfortunately. So, we are here. It is currently 6:25. Still pretty early. It is Friday though, so I will say this. I've noticed on Fridays, and well, actually not even just Fridays, typically throughout the week, I've noticed the later in the morning it gets, like around 7 a.m. or 8, it starts to get a little bit crowded. So I might be here longer than I might need to, because I've noticed around 7 or 8, it's already 6:30 essentially. That's when it starts to get a little bit crowded. So I might have to wait for some machines, which is fine. We're going to do our best. It is what it is. You have to wait for a machine. You have to wait for a machine. Or you can always improvise and find another workout similar. Sometimes I don't mind waiting, you know, so we'll see what happens today. Regardless, let's get this workout in, all right? I'll see you guys afterwards. You guys already know how this whole spiel goes. Gonna show the workouts and all that. Show you the pump afterwards. And yeah, I'll see you guys afterwards. So that pretty much wraps it up. As you can tell by the footage, the pump was amazing. I got a sick-ass leg pump today. The gym was a little bit more crowded than I had expected, but that's all good. I mean, still got the workout in. That's all that matters. Feeling very strong today because of the refeed. The refeed really, really did help. Immaculate pump today. Just overall a good workout. Honestly, a 12 out of 10 leg day, despite me hating leg days a lot. And I never really like doing them, but I always push myself to the brink of failure
or pretty much to failure every time I work out. And yeah, that pretty much wraps it up. I'm gonna go home, edit this little guy together, you know, this whole spiel, get some food in me, shower, change, get ready for the day. And then yeah, I'm not sure if there's gonna be a video tomorrow, no guarantees. It's my rest day, so to be honest, probably not, but we'll see how we feel. But if there is, you know, stay tuned for that. Alrighty, I'll see you on the next one.